This is Tank's Vlog for September 21st, 2018. We are brought to you by Allow Me to Be Frank, the weekly podcast that you can get every week on SoundCloud and iTunes. This week our special guest was Casey Smith, one of the co-hosts of the college football show on Barstool Sports. And of course, if you tune in to this week's show, you get to hear something that I said will happen. And that was that the Cleveland Browns are gonna beat the Jets. And the Cleveland Browns have beaten the Jets. Cleveland, open up the fridge, enjoy the Bud Light. Dilly. Oh, that you made the Jets look silly. You know, the Jets came out 14-0 lead. Tyrod Taylor was terrible. And Hugh Jackson was saying after the game, I have to review the tape to determine who's going to be the quarterback next week. If he starts Tyrod Taylor, Hugh Jackson needs to be fired immediately. I mean, even Stevie Wonder could tell Baker Mayfield looks better than Tyrod Taylor. There was no life. There was no energy. They were trudging their way. Browns were heading for another big loss if Tyrod Taylor wasn't taken out of that game. And of course, it was a concussion that knocked him out of the game. And then Baker Mayfield came in. The crowd came alive. First drive, he gets a field goal. Gets another field goal in the first drive of the second half. Then they add the touchdown, two-pointer, which Baker Mayfield caught on a Philly special type play from Jarvis Landry. And next thing you know, it's a tie game. After the Jets regained the lead, Browns went down the field. Carlos Hyde touchdown. Baker Mayfield looked professional. Gave it energy. Anything you want out of a number one pick. While Sam Darnold spun his wheels and laid an egg. Oh, it's the same old Jets. Just another year full of disappointment. Well, it's the same old Jets. Just another season to console again. 2 weeks ago, the Jets were ready to go to the Super Bowl. Sam Darnold had a statue made. 48-17 win over the Lions. But they forgot one thing. It was the Lions. A team that's sad. A team that's bad. Oh, it's the same old Jets. Just another season full of disappointment. Oh, it's the same old Jets. Just more frustration and aggravation. It's the same old Jets. Just another year of disappointment. Well, it's the same old Jets. Just another year to watch the team go down in flames. In fact, I now dubbed the New York Jets the New York Paper Airplanes. Boston Red Sox have finally clinched the American League East. After losing the first two games in the Bronx, they came out with a big night from Mookie Betts, smacked around Masahiro Tanaka. Yankee defense was shoddy as the beat down in the Bronx 11-6 to clinch the East. We're now 104-49. The East was over when they swept the Yankees back in July. So there's nothing more now for the Yankees but to hopefully that they hold on to that wild card spot, and it's not looking too good. Today in Oakland, it was the Raiders 21 and the Rams 3. Oh, sorry about that. No. Check that. That was the A's 21 and the Angels 3. Bashing the Angels. And now just a game and a half behind the Yankees for the right to host that wild card game. Yankees do not want to go to Oakland. That's for one sure. The Yankees have not played well in Oakland over the last few years. The A's give the Yankees hard time as it is anyway. And the way the Yankees have played over the last month, the last thing they want to do is to have that wild card game on the road. It was the Rays completing a big comeback today to beat the Blue Jays, completing a big comeback today to beat the Rays 9-8. At one point, they trailed in the game 8-2 entering the ninth inning and scored 7 runs. 7-run ninth. How about that? It was the White Sox, a 5-4 winner over the Indians. The Tigers beat the Royals 11-8. That's now 101 losses for Kansas City. The Reds doubled up the Marlins 4-2. And the Braves have all but put a stake through the heart of the Philadelphia Phillies. Maybe it's a cheesesteak. As they beat the Philadelphia 8-3 and moved closer to clinching the East, leading the division now by 6.5 games. Mets today began a 4-game series in Washington, and they hit Max Scherzer pretty hard. That really helped out DeGrom a little bit in the Cy Young race. But the Nationals did come back, tied the game, but the Mets won it in 12 innings, 5-4. Today's 3 stars are Mookie Betts with 4 for 5 with a home run, 5 RBI, 3 runs scored in the Red Sox Eastern Division clinching win over the Yankees. Baker Mayfield, who cooked up 201 passing yards, caught a 2-point conversion, and basically sparked life, gave the Browns life. I mean, that's the most important thing he did today. And then Christian Stewart had 2 home runs, 6 RBI, and 2 runs scored in the Tigers' win over the Royals. Today's birthday shout-out goes to Cecil Fielder, who in 1990, after playing a few years in Japan, came back to the United States with the Tigers and became the first player to hit 50 home runs in a season in over a decade. Yes, in the 1980s, there were no players that hit 50 home runs. No 50 home run seasons between 1977 and 1990. And then the steroid era began, and then, well, you know the rest. But Cecil Fielder hit 52 home runs in 1990. Ending that drought was the first time since George Foster's 1977 season that someone topped 50 home runs. And in 2008, it was 10 years ago that the final game played at the old Yankee Stadium saw many Yankee greats come out, introduced one last time by Bob Shepard. And of course, a week later, the Mets played the final game at Shea Stadium. And as the Mets always do, botched the ceremony. While the Yankees did it before the game, the Mets did it after the game. A game where they had to win to stay alive in the playoff hopes. A game they lost, naturally. And then they brought all these players out as Met fans are stunned after another disappointing loss and going, hey, look, there's George Theodore. Yay. Hey, look, it's Cleon Jones. Yay. Oh, why did this team do this to me again? I mean, they literally ripped the heart out of your chest with the horrible bullpen in the end of that 2008 season. Scott Schoenweiss and Louis Aiello gave up back-to-back home runs, and then Ryan Church popped up to end the game. And then we had to watch all these Met greats coming from the foul lines and touching home plate. Ugh. I still remember sitting out there and just like this watching the ceremony. You know, sort of the same look that's on Jet fans' faces just right now. Well, remember, listen to Allow Me to Be Frank on SoundCloud, iTunes, We now have our 6-pack picks up for this weekend's college football. So you might want to click that link below, see who I think is going to win in the 6 games I think are the best games of the weekend. So check that out. Check out Allow Me to Be Frank. Check out Barstool Sports. Check out the Sports Encyclopedia where sports history lives. And have a good Friday.